A former U.S. Marines veteran and New York City police officer has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for assaulting U.S. Capitol Police with a flagpole during the January 6th riot. It's the longest sentence so far for a Capitol rioter. 56-year-old Thomas Webster, seen here wearing a red jacket, was convicted back in May on multiple counts of assaulting law enforcement officers. Now, prosecutors say Webster spearheaded a breach against the police line and was responsible for, quote, disgracing a democracy he once fought honorably to protect and serve. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins me now from Washington. Scott, it's good to see you. 10 years is the longest sentence for a Capitol rioter so far. Prosecutors did want 17 years behind bars. Do you think we'll see longer sentences like this in the future for some of these defendants?
Hey, Ben, certainly possible. The higher level charge is actually seditious conspiracy. We haven't seen those defendants go on trial yet. That doesn't happen until later this month. But for Thomas Webster, there are reasons he received the longest sentence so far of any Capitol riot defendant. First of all, what he was wearing beneath that red jacket you mentioned. He was wearing body armor. He was wearing his New York Police Department issued bulletproof vest. He's a former police officer, and they lifted the sentence to a higher level because of that body armor. There's a federal law that gives judges the ability to give a stiffer sentence if a defendant was wearing body armor during the commission of a violent crime. The prosecutors also argued compellingly that Webster, as a former police officer and as a former Marine, knew better, knew the risk police were in at that moment, outnumbered by a violent crowd. But also, they say he came ready for battle. He had military rations. He had the bulletproof vest. He brought to Washington from New York his gun, but didn't bring the gun to the Capitol. But they say he was ready for violence that day. Webster showed some remorse today at sentencing, but the judge says it didn't align with what he said at trial and was not credible. So he'll serve 10 years, so far the longest sentence.
And we should mention he's also the first rioter to be tried on an assault charge, and he was claiming self-defense. Do you think we'll see future self-defense arguments, or because this one didn't seem to work, they might go in another direction?
It's going to be complicated. There is video evidence, and the video they showed today during sentencing, even the judge said was compelling. The judge says he finds the video of that assault involving Thomas Webster shocking. Many of the other defendants accused of assaulting police that day are going to have to compete with video evidence presented by the Department of Justice. But here's the thing, Ben. There's a number of defendants trying to get their trials moved out of Washington, D.C., making the argument that Washington, D.C. jurors are too traumatized by January 6th, too inflamed by their proximity to it, to be fair, to be unbiased. The judge today said that is nonsense, that the juries here are not traumatized. They are convicting January 6th defendant after January 6th defendant because the Department of Justice is making compelling cases and the defendants are, in fact, guilty. We'll see if other defendants seek plea deals, if the prosecutors have more leverage now because the judge handed down a 10-year sentence in this case.
So it sounds like the judge had a lot to say, calling this shocking, as you mentioned there. Did the judge have anything else to say about Webster in particular?
Yeah, I mean, again, what the judge said paralleled what we've heard other January 6 judges say in other cases, that Webster, who had an unblemished record in his first 55 years of life, a Marine, a police officer without a reprimand on his record. In fact, Webster wasn't just a police officer in New York. He was a member of the former Mayor Bloomberg's security detail, a high-achieving police officer. And all of it, the judge said, was thrown away because of Webster's decisions and crime on January 6th. I'll note one other thing, Ben. There was some muted criticism of former President Trump by the defense lawyer today, saying that the election lies are part of what brought that crowd, that mob, to the Capitol January 6th. Some defendants make not even a muted criticism of January 6th. Webster made something of one.
All right, Scott MacFarlane in Washington, D.C., thank you so much.